Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us as we introduce Ed Davis and Jeff Green to members of the local media here. We had a nice little warm welcoming forum from the employees a few minutes ago, and we'll open it up to questions. Again, as you guys get a chance to meet them, as the beat writers and reporters who cover the Jazz on a regular basis, when you guys have your questions, you can just introduce yourself so they can learn who you are as well. So Matt has a microphone on that side. I've got one on this side of the room, and if you'll just let us know, we'll open it up to questions from members of the media.
Hi, guys. I'm Eric Walden of the Salt Lake Tribune. This is a question for both of you. Just wondering what it was that you found enticing about the Jazz that convinced you to come sign in Utah.
At this stage of my career, I wanted to play, on a veteran team, a team that had a chance to contend, for a title at the end of the year. So that was the main thing for me.
Same, with the personnel that they were building on this team, the opportunity to win, which is most important, it was a no-brainer.
John Kuhn, Associated Press. Looking at how the Jazz roster is set up and the coaching staff and everything, what do you feel like it can do in terms of helping you with your own games and your own roles within the team?
Like I said, with the personnel, you got Donovan, Mike, Joe, Big Rudy. So it's a lot of guys that open space. It's going to create a lot of shots for everybody. It's going to give a lot of opportunities for, people to, have great games. And I feel like, with the unselfish group, you have a lot of guys who are going to be proud of that. And, that's what you look forward to in a team that's very unselfish, who's going to play for each other.
Hey, I'm Andy Larson, also from the Salt Lake Tribune. Jeff, there was that Dwayne Wade tweet about you signing 3 minimum contracts in a row, right? Like you doing the one-year deals. Want to ask what your thought was about him tweeting that and kind of what that message was, and then of course that you have signed 3 minimum deals in a row. Why is that?
You want to know the honest answer? Yeah. Well, I didn't pay him to tweet that. That was something that he, he just, felt he needed to get off his chest. The reason that I've signed him, I don't know. You got to ask a lot of these GMs and teams.
You would make more money if they gave it to you.
For sure.
First I want to win, but I put in time. I put in the work to, not have minimum deals. It's very disrespecting, but it's at the end of the day, I'm blessed to be playing basketball. But I do look at it as motivation to continue to work, continue to, prove a lot of people wrong, and I think it's fun. To your question is why? You take the best opportunity that's given when it's given, and going in, I didn't think I would have to sign another one, but it's here, and I deal with the fact that I'm part of the Utah organization with some great guys, Ed and the rest of the guys on this team, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. And at the end of the day, God has a plan, and I have to just do my job of going out there and playing basketball, and it'll all work out. So I'm not too concerned about it, but it is pretty disrespecting from the work that I've done. But people always look at your past and try to base you off that. But it can change, and it will, and I'm not worried about it.
You got Dwayne in your corner, so you're good.
And that's a good guy to have in your corner. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, my name is Tony Jones. I work for The Athletic. Question is for both of you, since both of you guys have been in the league for a minute. What is the perception of the Jazz amongst players not on the Jazz teams as a free agency destination, as opposed to where that perception was when you guys first came into the league?
For me, I feel like it's always been respected, first class organization, you really don't hear about a bunch of BS happening and not really a bunch of players coming in and out. A lot of consistency, and I just always look at this organization as a team that every year, like you said, respected, and they're gonna fight. Be in the playoffs, and that's just how they're. I viewed it since I've been in the league and growing up as a kid.
He said it best. Yeah, he said it best. You got an organization that fights for their players, and you got players who fights for the city and organization. They battle together, and it's been, like I said, this is going on 13 years, so it's been that way every year with all the players that have come through from Darren, Carlos, to even now. From the inside out, you got guys who play for each other and play hard.
Question back here.
Sam Farnsworth, KSL here in Channel 5 in Salt Lake. Question for both of you guys. Have you had any interactions with your new teammates yet? And if so, who was the first to reach out to you and welcome you in?
I played with Mike in Memphis, so he was one of the first guys that I talked to, and talked to Donovan. And we got a little group chat going on, so a little communication going on in there.
Yeah, the first person to reach out was probably Donovan. Then a couple hours after that was Mike. Like Ed, I played with Mike in Memphis, so it's a relationship there that's always been kept going. So, but Donovan was the first to reach out.
Hey guys, I was just wondering what kind of interaction you've had with Quinn and the coaching staff yet, what kind of discussion there's been about your roles and how they expect you to play and what you can bring to this team.
I haven't really got, in depth with, roles and you playing X amount of minutes, but, I think it's kind of obvious what my role is going to be. And I was in Vegas for Summer League. I was around the coaching staff, worked out with them for a couple of days. Talked to coach for a few, and some of the other assistants.
Yeah, the role talk hasn't been talked about much, but being a vet, knowing that it's going to be about reliving experiences of probably the finals, probably much. How do you get there? What's it going to take? But that's about it. I've had multiple long conversations with Quinn over the last week or two, so that's a relationship that's building this last couple of weeks.
Ryan McDonald with Deseret News here in Salt Lake. You both played with Mike. He won the Teammate of the Year this year. What is it about? Did you see things when you played with him that were indicative that he's the sort of guy that would win Teammate of the Year, and maybe what were some of those things about him?
He's a guy who fights for his team, who helps his team. He supports his teammates. Guy with no ego, who's going to play hard every night to try to win for his team. And, I think it was well deserved.
Yeah, sort of the same lines what Jeff said, there's no ego, just a good person, all the way around. Come in every day, no bullshit with him, so can't do nothing but respect that.
Ryan Miller from KSL.com. Obviously, you've talked about Mike Conley. Could you elaborate a little bit more about how close you guys are and how much did his, addition to this team impact your decision to come here?
I talked to him, before I made the decision to come here, and he definitely, gave me confidence that, this team was ready. So, that definitely, helped out a lot for me. And, he was one of the reasons why, I made my decision so quick.
You want to know about our friendship? Yeah. We're great friends. We talk a lot. I just talked to him 2 days ago. Our family's close. Our wives became good friends in our time in Memphis. Our kids are the same age. It's just a friendship that's been going since my time in Memphis. You know, he's a good guy. He's somebody, like I said, who's gonna, you know, be there for you, and you know, always lend a helping hand. So, you know, that's a good friend and, you know, a good teammate.
Is there a specific part of this team on the court that you guys are excited to see kind of take fruition, if you will? If you know a part that you were excited to, whether that be a player or a system or whatever it is, on the court that you're excited to see happen this October?
I think for me is the defensive side. You know, having Ed, having Rudy, you know, two guys who are going to, you know, be in the trenches. They're going to battle. They're going to fight. And, you know, having, you know, bigs like that, you know, that's, you know, for a guy who has the guard on the perimeter, that's very comforting. When you know you have, you know, guys who are going to, you know, battle each and every night, you know, whether that's rebounding, blocking shots, you know, dunking on people, you know, that's what you live for. And that's, you know, when you have guys like that who's, you know, behind you, it makes everything more comforting when you're guarding on the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, I'm excited about, you know, playing, you know, with a lot of, you know, veterans. You know, it's a lot of experience on this team. And when I was younger, you know, in my career, you know, I didn't really understand like why the, you know, the vets always wanted to, you know, play with the other vets and, you know, guys with experience. But, you know, now I understand it, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
If there are no other questions, we'll just take a moment to strike the stage, and we'll have a photo opportunity with their jerseys here.
Oh.